Still in Munich, still in my hotel room, still looking a bit red. And I thought I would share my thoughts on the place I was visiting before I came to Munich, which was Lisbon, or Lissabon, as the Germans call it. And I'm doing this because my friends have said, why don't I use my YouTube channel more to capture my impressions and places I visit and travel tips? I said friends plural. It's actually just one friend who has said that, but I aim to please. So I think in the future I'll always try to do these exactly where I am and as fresh as I possibly can. It's not possible today, but Lisbon, I'll just say, is definitely a place you should visit if you're interested in coming to Europe and having interesting and new experiences. I think it's a great place to come if you've been to many European cities and are getting a little tired of that suave and debonair European look. Lisbon is quite crunchy, quite ethnic, really interesting. So let me tell you the 3 reasons why I would come to Lisbon. I would urge you to come to Lisbon. There are many more, but these are the 3 that I want to highlight. First is the famous Lisbon street food, pastel de nata, or a custard tart that's put in a small puff pastry dough, so you can eat it almost like a little muffin or something. It's about 1/3 the size of an American muffin, thank goodness. And the naterias, the places that sell the pastel de nata, are everywhere in Lisbon, and I do mean everywhere. If you look at any intersection, one of those corners is likely to have a nateria, and some of them will have 2 or 3 competing naterias at the corner. I became fond of one place in particular across from this very famous elevator that goes from lower Lisbon to the higher part of the city, so you don't have to go up those hills. That was just a little hole in the wall, but a really elegant hole in the wall, beautifully appointed. And all they sold was natas. They had windows so you could see into the nata making, pastel de nata making operation in the kitchen. And they had really lovely women attending you wearing very nice traditional, I guess, pastel de nata serving outfits. And they would bring you a little cup of coffee, like an espresso or a cortado, and you could stand there for 5 minutes and just be having this wonderful, precious, elegant moment, which I think is really fun to do every once in a while. You sort of makes you feel special. So pastel de natas is like a great reason to go there. By the way, the name of the nateria was called Castro. And when I read its reviews, I saw on Google Maps, I saw that a lot of people shared my really positive impression of this nateria. So that's reason number 1. Reason number 2 is this fantastic look of Lisbon, particularly in that old part of town, this very quirky architecture. Eccentric, I guess, oftentimes built to accommodate the strange and sudden changes in elevation that occur in Lisbon. I don't know if some of it was because after the great earthquake of 1755, people really went all out to try to build a unique and beautiful city. But it was a fantastic, sensuous experience visually to walk around Lisbon. It's very hilly. I can't tell you. I can't emphasize too much how hilly it is. I didn't have any trouble going up and down the hills, but the next day my legs were really sore, and I kind of paid for it when I came to Munich 2 days later, where my walking was not as brisk as I would like it to be. One of the things that makes these hilly streets, I think, and steep inclines have kept at bay all the international capitalist stores that, as soon as a destination becomes popular anywhere in the world, particularly in Europe, these stores invade so that you as a tourist can feel comfortable, because the things that you used to buy in Manhattan, you can now buy also in Barcelona or Berlin or Vienna or Prague or Edinburgh, whatever town you're in. I, of course, hate this. I just can't stand the fact that these international capitalist chains are driving out the local businesses. And the good thing about Lisbon is that it really hasn't happened to that significant a degree yet. It's happening, don't get me wrong, but it hasn't happened to a significant degree. And I'm crossing my fingers that just the topography of Lisbon, the fact that so many streets are unsuitable for, a Prada, Armani shop, that because of that, Lisbon will always maintain much more of its unique flavor. And the third reason why I think people should visit to Lisbon, or why I really enjoyed it, was the incredible diversity on the streets of Lisbon, cultural, ethnic diversity. This is completely politically incorrect, I know, but it's my conclusion that European countries that had colonies are much more interesting places to visit today than European countries that didn't have colonies. You go to France, you go to Italy, you come to Spain, Portugal, Great Britain. There's tremendous diversity because in many instances, the inhabitants of, Angola or Mozambique or Brazil or Nigeria or Kenya or Ethiopia or French West Africa, they have it's easier for them to come to the mother, ridiculous phrase, the mother country, to settle. And because of that, there's just a lot of richness in the food, in the little stores that sell things, in the people walking the streets, in the intonations you hear on the street. And I think that just makes for a much more interesting visit. I'll say one quick thing about walking in Lisbon. In addition to the hills, Lisbon is known for its beautifully paved streets, intricate little tile work where they've created beautiful patterns. Unfortunately, these are now hundreds of years old and are as smooth as ice. So when you start walking around, particularly if you're going up and down any hills, you soon realize that you need to wear shoes with really good sticky treads that really grip the ground. And no matter how good your shoes are, at some point in your walk, those icy tile work sidewalks are going to get the better of you. So beware. Bring really good shoes to Lisbon. So with that, that's going to be my travelogue on why I so much enjoyed traveling to Lisbon and visiting, Portugal entirely. You all take care. Thanks for listening. If you liked it and you want to hear others of my travelogues, please hit the subscribe button as you back out of the video. It'll help keep you informed as to when I post another video, and it doesn't cost anything, and I don't particularly think it impinges your privacy. But if you don't like it, don't do it. Take care.